Pre-open era, tennis was completely split in two. When all this started, back in 1877, Wimbledon crowned its first champion with just 22 men competing. The whole idea came from Major Walter Clopton Wingfield, who wanted to make lawn tennis a proper sport. Spencer Gore won that first title, serve and volleying his way through the draw. The game spread quickly across Europe and America, reaching the US Championships by 1881 and the French Championships by 1891. But here's what killed the sport's growth. If you took any prize money, you became a professional and got banned from all the majors. Bill Tilden became tennis's first real superstar, capturing 7 US Championships and 3 Wimbledons in the 1920s. He wrote instruction books, lived like a celebrity. But even Tilden eventually turned pro in 1931, vanishing from the majors. The women's game had its own revolution happening. Suzanne Lenglen transformed everything. She won 6 Wimbledon titles and introduced athletic play that scandalized crowds. She dared to wear knee-length skirts and actually jumped during serves. Her 1926 match against Helen Wills at Cannes drew 6,000 spectators, proving women's tennis could captivate audiences. Helen Wills Moody conquered with 8 Wimbledon titles without losing a set between 1927 and 1932. Then came Fred Perry, giving Britain 3 straight championships from 1934 to 1936. His athleticism modernized the men's game, but after winning, he turned pro, and Britain waited 77 years for another men's champion. By 1938, Don Budge achieved something unprecedented, winning all 4 major championships in 1 year. The first Grand Slam. His powerful backhand dominated every surface, but like everyone else, Budge immediately turned professional. The split was destroying tennis. By the 1950s, you had 2 tours, amateurs playing depleted majors and pros barnstorming for money. Pancho Gonzalez signed a pro contract after winning 2 US championships and vanished from the majors for his entire prime. Ken Rosewall turned pro at just 21 after winning the French and Australian. He wouldn't play another major for 12 years. Rod Laver completed the Grand Slam as an amateur in 1962, then immediately turned pro and couldn't defend any titles. Margaret Court began her ascent in 1960, eventually winning more majors than anyone in history. Althea Gibson had already broken the color barrier in 1950, becoming the first African-American to play the US Championships. By 1956, she was winning majors, taking Wimbledon and the US Championships in both 1957 and 1958. The other majors had no choice but to follow. Everything was about to explode. The Open era began in 1968, and tennis finally became a real professional sport. Ken Rosewall won the first Open tournament in Bournemouth, collecting £2,400 after 12 years in exile. At Wimbledon that year, Rod Laver returned and demonstrated what everyone had been missing. He destroyed the field, losing just 2 sets all tournament. The professionals dominated everywhere, proving the split had robbed fans of the best tennis. In 1969, Laver did what seemed impossible. He won the Grand Slam again, this time against the world's best players. He took home $124,000 for the year, revolutionary for tennis. His second Grand Slam proved he was the greatest of his generation. Margaret Court exploded too, completing her own Grand Slam in 1970. She won all 4 majors, plus 21 straight tournaments, finishing with a 104-6 record. Court's fitness regimen included running sandhills and swimming in rough ocean surf. She finished with 24 major singles titles, a record that still stands. The game itself was transforming rapidly. The introduction of the tiebreak in 1970 prevented marathon sets and made tennis TV-friendly. Metal rackets started appearing, with Jimmy Connors leading the charge using his steel Wilson T2000. The extra power changed strategy completely. Prize money jumped every year. Wimbledon's purse grew from £26,150 in 1968 to over £50,000 by 1972. Then came the game changer, the Battle of the Sexes, in 1973. After Bobby Riggs beat Margaret Court earlier that year, Billie Jean King accepted his challenge. The build-up was insane. Riggs claimed women's tennis was inferior. King carried the hopes of female athletes everywhere. She arrived at the Houston Astrodome on a gold litter, like Cleopatra. Riggs came on a rickshaw, pulled by models. King destroyed him 6-4, 6-3, 6-3, in front of 30,000 spectators and 90 million TV viewers worldwide. She didn't just win a match, she legitimized women's tennis forever. That same year, King helped found the Women's Tennis Association. The original 9 had risked everything, signing $1 contracts to start their own tour in 1970. By 1973, it was official. The WTA began with $309,100 in total prize money. The ATP formed simultaneously as men took control too. The power shift was dramatic. Players now controlled their careers instead of national associations. The US Open offered equal prize money to men and women in 1973, the first major to do it. Wimbledon wouldn't follow until 2007, but the precedent was set. Jimmy Connors epitomized the brash new era. He won 3 majors in 1974, using a steel racket and an attitude that polarized fans. His mother Gloria coached him. He trusted no one else. Connors sued the ATP, played world team tennis and made enemies everywhere. But he won, and in professional tennis, that's what mattered. The money kept growing. John Newcombe earned $280,000 in 1974, making him tennis's highest paid player. The Open era had delivered on its promise, spectacularly. Bjorn Borg arrived from Sweden, like a force of nature. The teenager with shoulder-length hair and ice-cold nerves introduced revolutionary topspin. His Western grip forehand, considered unorthodox, produced bounce and spin that drove opponents crazy. He won the French Open in 1974 at just 18, but he really announced himself at Wimbledon in 1976. Baseline players weren't supposed to win on grass, where serve and volleyers had dominated forever. Borg proved everyone wrong, winning without losing a set. His topspin passing shots destroyed net rushes. By 1978, Borg achieved the impossible, winning the French Open and Wimbledon back-to-back. The surface transition in just 2 weeks seemed insurmountable, but Borg did it. 3 consecutive years. His training was legendary, 5-hour practice sessions, endless running, a strict diet avoiding sugar and alcohol. He'd win 5 consecutive Wimbledons from 1976 to 1980, a record that seemed unbreakable. Then, in 1979, John McEnroe crashed the party. The left-handed American with perfect touch and a volcanic temper reached the Wimbledon final at 20. Borg survived, 8-6 in the 5th, but their rivalry was just beginning. McEnroe was everything Borg wasn't, emotional, argumentative, constantly battling umpires. His genius touch at net contrasted with Borg's relentless baseline grinding. Their 1980 Wimbledon final became the match of the century. The 4th set tiebreak lasted 34 points. McEnroe won it 18-16, in what many consider the greatest tiebreak ever played. The crowd was mesmerized, cheering every point, but Borg still prevailed, 8-6 in the 5th, showing the mental toughness that separated him from everyone. McEnroe got revenge at the US Open, beating Borg in 5 sets. Their contrast in styles and personalities made every match must-see television. The following year, McEnroe was ready. He beat Borg 4-6, 7-6, 7-6, 6-4 at Wimbledon, ending the Swede's 41-match winning streak there. Then, Borg shocked everyone. After losing the 1981 US Open final to McEnroe, he walked away at age 25. No farewell tour, just gone. The pressure and constant travel had burned him out completely. McEnroe took over, winning 3 Wimbledons and 4 US Opens total. His tantrums were legendary. "You cannot be serious" became his catchphrase. But his tennis was artistic. The left-handed serve, feather-touch volleys, impossible angles. Meanwhile, the women's game had its own epic rivalry. Chris Evert dominated clay with robotic consistency, winning 125 consecutive matches on the surface. Martina Navratilova transformed herself from a pudgy teenager into an athletic powerhouse. She hired basketball player Nancy Lieberman as a trainer, added muscle, and revolutionized women's fitness. Their rivalry reached 80 matches total, Navratilova eventually leading 43-37. They made each other complete players. Navratilova's dominance peaked from 1982 to 1986. She won 6 consecutive Wimbledons and went 74-2 in 1984. Her serve and volley style on fast courts was virtually unbeatable. Tracy Austin interrupted briefly, becoming the youngest US Open champion at 16 in 1979, but injuries derailed her career early. Then, Boris Becker exploded onto the scene in 1985, winning Wimbledon at just 17. The German dove for volleys and played fearlessly. His emergence signaled a new generation. This era established tennis rivalries as mainstream entertainment. Borg McEnroe transcended sport, becoming a cultural phenomenon that drew millions of new fans to tennis. Ivan Lendl finally broke through at the 1984 French Open after losing 4 straight major finals. Lendl Revolut could hit winners from defensive positions, turning defense into offense instantly. His two-handed backhand never broke down under pressure. He made opponents hit extra balls until they cracked mentally. By 1985, Lendl reached number 1 and dominated hard courts completely. He won the US Open 3 straight years, from 1985 to 1987, mastering the surface like no one before. His 8 consecutive US Open finals, from 1982 to 1989, remains a record. The consistency was machine-like. Lendl held number 1 for 270 weeks total. But Lendl had one hole, Wimbledon. The grass betrayed his baseline style. He reached finals in 1986 and 1987, losing to Becker and Pat Cash. Both times, he looked uncomfortable. His ground strokes failed him on slick grass. It prevented a career Grand Slam and haunted his legacy. Stefan Edberg emerged as Lendl's perfect foil, the Swedish serve and volleyer with balletic movement. Mats Wilander won 7 majors with consistency. Boris Becker matured into a 6-time major champion, and young guns arrived constantly. Andre Agassi turned pro at 16 in 1986, bringing Las Vegas flash. His image was carefully crafted. Long hair, earring, colorful Nike clothes that challenged Wimbledon's all-white rule. His baseline game and devastating return challenged serve and volley orthodoxy, though he wouldn't win a major until 1992. Michael Chang shocked everyone by winning the 1989 French Open at 17. His 4th-round victory over Lendl was legendary. Cramping badly, Chang served underhand and hit moon balls. The tactics rattled Lendl, who lost in 5 sets. On the women's side, Steffi Graf emerged dominant. The German won her first major at the 1987 French Open, overpowering Navratilova. Her forehand was unlike anything women's tennis had seen. Devastating pace, spin, and precision. In 1988, Graf achieved the Golden Slam, all 4 majors, plus Olympic gold. She went 72-3 for the year, establishing complete dominance. Gabriela Sabatini brought Argentine grace. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario added Spanish flair, but Graf stood alone. The depth improved dramatically, with multiple players capable of winning majors. Monica Seles was emerging, with her two-handed power from both sides. The Lendl era proved tennis could be dominated through preparation and science. His influence extended far beyond 8 majors. Every player adopted his professional approach. Practice became analytical, fitness standards skyrocketed, and the mental side gained prominence. Tennis had become a year-round profession, requiring total dedication. Pete Sampras announced himself at the 1990 US Open, destroying Agassi, Lendl, and McEnroe in succession at just 19 years old. That first major launched the most dominant serving era ever. Sampras transformed the game with 130-mile-per-hour serves and perfect volleys. His motion was poetry, smooth, effortless, devastating. He regularly hit aces on crucial points, but it was his second serve that truly changed the game. Hit with nearly first serve pace, often as a kick serve, it prevented returns entirely. The serve became such a weapon that rule changes were actually discussed. By 1993, Sampras claimed number 1 and wouldn't let go. He finished year-end number 1 6 consecutive times, demonstrating consistency across all surfaces.
They met 34 times, with Sampras leading 20-14, but each match felt like an event.
Agassi completed his career Grand Slam first, winning Wimbledon in 1992. His autobiography later revealed he hated tennis in his early years,
pushed by a demanding father, but with time came maturity and a genuine love for competition. Their 1995 US Open final epitomized everything. Sampras won in 4 sets with extraordinary shot-making. Their 2001 US Open quarterfinal featured 4 tie-breaks without a single service break. It showed how evenly matched they were, despite their vastly different styles. Sampras's 2002 US Open victory over Agassi, his 14th major, provided the perfect ending. He never played again, walking away at the top. Meanwhile, the women's game experienced massive upheaval. Monica Seles burst through with a unique style, two-handed shots from both sides, loud grunting, impossible angles. She won 8 majors before turning 20, dominating aggressively. Then came Hamburg, 1993. A deranged Graf fan stabbed Seles on court. She missed 2 prime years, and although she returned in 1995, she never quite recaptured her dominance. The what-if questions remained forever. Graf benefited, collecting 11 of her 22 majors after the stabbing, but new challengers were emerging everywhere. Lindsay Davenport brought American power, winning 3 majors. Martina Hingis became #1 at just 16, winning 5 majors with tactical brilliance and precise angles. Then came the Williams Revolution. Venus and Serena turned pro as teenagers in the mid-1990s. Their father, Richard, boldly predicted they'd dominate. It seemed outlandish at first. Venus broke through at 2000 Wimbledon, overwhelming opponents with serve and athleticism. Serena followed, winning the 1999 US Open at just 17, defeating Hingis. Her power was unprecedented. She hit harder than anyone. She moved better than her size suggested, and she competed fiercely. The sisters' rivalry added emotional complexity, but their impact was undeniable. By the decade's end, Jennifer Capriati completed an incredible comeback. From personal struggles to Grand Slam titles, the depth in women's tennis was extraordinary. Champions came from every continent. Playing styles were more diverse than ever. The Sampras era proved that serve and volley could still dominate, even as returns improved. His 14 majors set a new target. The Williams sisters set new athletic standards. Prize money exploded, reaching tens of millions at the majors. Tennis had become truly global. Roger Federer's breakthrough at 2003 Wimbledon ended years of unfulfilled promise. His forehand, hit with incredible racket speed, produced winners from any position. His movement was balletic, making difficult shots look routine. His shot selection showed genius-level tennis IQ. The 2004 season announced total dominance. Federer won 3 majors, lost just 6 matches, and made tennis look easy. His versatility was remarkable. Serve and volleying on grass, grinding on clay, blasting winners on hard courts. By 2006, he reached another level, a 92-5 record, 12 titles, all 4 major finals. His dominance felt like watching perfection. Then came the rivalry everyone craved. Rafael Nadal emerged, playing unprecedented tennis. His topspin forehand averaged 3,200 RPMs, nearly double the tour average. The ball jumped off courts with a trajectory that broke down technique. His defense redefined possible. Winners against anyone else came back with interest. Nadal owned Federer from their first meeting, especially on clay. He won the French Open at 19 in 2005, beginning otherworldly clay dominance. His 81-match winning streak on clay seemed fictional. Their 2008 Wimbledon final transcended tennis. Nadal won the first 2 sets fearlessly. Federer roared back for 2. The 5th set, played in near darkness, featured impossible shots. Nadal won 9-7, ending Federer's 5-year Wimbledon streak. The match lasted 4 hours, 48 minutes, but felt eternal. It proved Nadal could beat Federer anywhere. Then, Novak Djokovic crashed their party in 2008. He won the Australian Open, and the Big Three era was officially underway. Djokovic's flexibility allowed impossible retrievals. His return already ranked best ever. Federer and Nadal met in 8 major finals from 2006 to 2009, with Nadal winning 6. Their contrasting styles created perfect theater. By 2009, Federer reached career-defining moments. He won the French Open when Nadal lost early, completing his career Grand Slam. The emotion revealed everything. He followed it with Wimbledon, breaking Sampras's record with his 15th major. He'd reached 17 by 2012, setting new standards. Meanwhile, Serena Williams dominated the women's game completely. After personal tragedy, her sister Yetunde's murder in 2003, Serena returned stronger. She completed her first Serena Slam in 2003, holding all 4 majors simultaneously. Her serve became historically dominant, regularly exceeding 120 miles per hour. Venus remained formidable, with 7 majors total, produced different winners. By 2010, shifts were happening. Andy Murray broke through for Britain. Juan Martín del Potro shocked Federer at the 2009 US Open. Most significantly, Djokovic's 2011 season announced a new order, winning 3 majors and solving both legends. Novak Djokovic's 2011 explosion shattered tennis's established order. The Serbian won 3 majors, went 76, and solved both Federer and Nadal completely. His transformation combined a gluten-free diet, improved fitness, and unshakable confidence. He started 43-0, won 10 titles, and beat Nadal in 6 finals. The Serbian wall had truly arrived. Djokovic's return revolutionized defensive tennis. He stood closer to the baseline than any elite returner, turning weapons against opponents. His flexibility allowed impossible shots, sliding spits on hard courts, contorting for unreachable balls. But it was the mental transformation that impressed most. Once prone to retirements, Djokovic became the mentally toughest player in the game. The Big Three's dominance reached absurd levels. From 2003 to 2023, they won 66 of 78 majors, 3 players dominating 2 decades, while preventing entire generations from winning majors wasn't supposed to happen. They raised the standard of excellence so high that being great wasn't enough. Their head-to-heads defined everything. Nadal versus Djokovic became history's most played rivalry, 59 matches. Their 2012 Australian Open final lasted 5 hours and 53 minutes, the longest major final ever. Both players needed chairs during the trophy ceremony. The quality made even one unforced error feel shocking. Federer adapted brilliantly, switching to a larger racket head in 2014. Critics said he was finished, but his 2017 resurgence proved otherwise. His Australian Open victory over Nadal at 35, coming back from 3-1 down, showed enduring genius. He'd go on to win 3 more majors playing bold, aggressive tennis. Nadal's clay dominance reached mythology. He won 14 French Opens, going 112-3 at Roland Garros. But he grew beyond clay. 4 US Opens, 2 Wimbledons, a 2022 Australian Open title at age 36. Djokovic turned the Australian Open into his fortress. 10 titles. His 2023 victory, played with a hamstring injury, showed his unshakable championship mentality. Their longevity defied logic. The 2019 Wimbledon final saw 37-year-old Federer holding 2 match points against Djokovic. But Djokovic's mental steel prevailed in the final set tiebreak. They just kept improving. Nadal's serve, Djokovic's drop shots, Federer's aggression, all evolved. Andy Murray broke through, 3 majors, 2 Olympic golds. They competed for sets, but wilted over 5. Experience and mental toughness prevailed again and again. Serena Williams defied aging, winning 10 majors after turning 30. Her 2017 Australian Open, while pregnant, she returned chasing court's record, reaching 4 more finals but falling just short. The pressure was immense. Women's tennis became deeper than ever. Naomi Osaka won 4 majors by age 23 and brought mental health into global spotlight. Ash Barty won 3 majors, then retired at 25. Halep, Kerber, Muguruza all found their moment. Then came Swiatek, dominating Roland Garros. Like young Nadal, technology transformed the sport completely. Hawkeye eliminated disputes. Analytics guided tactics. Recovery science extended careers dramatically. Social media reshaped the connection between players and fans. By 2023, the era was ending. Federer retired emotionally at the Laver Cup. Nadal's body finally surrendered. Only Djokovic remained, hunting major number 25. Their combined total of 66 majors seemed untouchable. They didn't just dominate, they redefined excellence itself. Carlos Alcaraz announced the new era by winning the 2022 US Open at just 19. The Spaniard combined Federer's variety, Nadal's intensity, and Djokovic's movement brilliantly. His drop shots defied physics. His passing shots found impossible angles, and his speed allowed Nadal-like defense while attacking like Federer. The future arrived spectacularly. Alcaraz's 2023 Wimbledon victory over Djokovic proved this wasn't luck. The 5-set final had everything. Incredible rallies, momentum swings, clutch shot after clutch shot. At just 20, Alcaraz had won on every surface, showing completeness that usually takes years. His joy, celebrating with fist pumps and wide smiles, brought fresh energy to the game. Jannik Sinner emerged as the perfect rival. The Italian brought robotic consistency, where Alcaraz played with flair. His steady improvements, better serve, tighter movement, stronger mind, culminated in the 2024 Australian Open, denying Djokovic his 11th title there. The Alcaraz-Sinner rivalry promises decades of battles. Men's tennis variety returned wonderfully. Holger Rune brought Danish fire and all-court instinct. Lorenzo Mussetti's one-handed backhand, pure Federer nostalgia. Ben Shelton's 149-mile-per-hour serve and raw American athleticism suggested greatness ahead. The depth was breathtaking. Any top 20 player could win titles. Aryna Sabalenka brought raw power. Her forehand and serve were weapons, but it was her improved mental game that made her a serial winner. 2 Australian Opens, one with overwhelming aggression. The Swiatek-Sabalenka rivalry? Must-watch tennis. Coco Gauff fulfilled the American dream, winning the 2023 US Open at 19. Her speed retrieved everything. Her improved forehand punished any hesitation. She embraced the spotlight and used her platform to speak out, showing athletes growing influence. Surprises became the new normal. Rybakina's serve won Wimbledon. Krejcikova proved tactics still matter. Pegula's consistency tested everyone. Jabeur inspired millions as the first Arab woman to reach major finals. Young stars kept emerging. Andreeva at 16, Zheng from China, Noskova's Czech power. The pipeline seemed endless. Technology kept pushing boundaries. Players used VR for visualization, AI for match analysis. Wearables tracked sleep, hydration, effort. Recovery science extended careers remarkably. Prize money soared. The 2024 Australian Open offered $86 million. Saudi investment stirred debate, but brought even more cash. The game's speed increased, yet style diversity returned. Drop shots became trendy. Slices cut through pace. Net play resurfaced as a weapon. Tennis was no longer one style fits all. The sport's global reach was undeniable. China's infrastructure produced pros. India showcased doubles talent. Africa revealed singles potential. South America remained strong. Clay specialists who could play anywhere. By 2025, the future is gloriously uncertain. Djokovic still chases Major 25. Alcaraz and Sinner build a rivalry for the ages. Swiatek rules the clay, while challengers close the gap. Different styles succeed. Young stars arrive prepared. Veterans extend their prime through science and strategy. From wooden rackets to AI-driven match plans, from country club lawns to stadiums filled with roaring fans, from serve and volley specialists to all-court artists, tennis never stops evolving. It survived political splits, thrived through generational changes, and exploded onto every continent. Each match writes new history. Every champion inspires the next, because at its heart, tennis is timeless. One player versus another, problem solving in real time, character exposed under pressure. And the next iconic moment? It could happen tomorrow. That's tennis's eternal promise. If you enjoyed this journey through tennis history, please consider subscribing.